just mic'd up with Mikey Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around, who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her and I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should all
Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Friday, March 28th. Got a great show for you today. We are here at our home at Indigo, indigopapers.com. Go check them out. We gave away 2 tickets to CannaFest on Wednesday to, who was it, Lloyd?
Toki Doki.
Came in there with some rapid-fire questions. Got shit on for one question. Came back in here, rebounded it. Said, hey, you know what?
Shoot or shoot.
Shoot or shoot. Came in with some other questions. As a result, was rewarded with 2 free tickets to CannaFest, which is April 12th at Beauvoir Park, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Long day. So Toki Doki gonna enjoy his time at Beauvoir Park. But if any other people are trying to go to Beauvoir Park,
the Toki maybe makes a little bit more sense now.
He's Toki.
Yeah,
you
toke
it
it up at
Sometimes.
CannaFest, which you can do.
And if you want to do that, go check out indigopapers.com. They are putting on CannaFest. They have a lot of really fun products to go and enjoy yourself in nature and amongst the vibes. In the park of Beauvoir Park. They have flour, they have seltzers, they have tinctures, they have little dip pouches if you want with some THC, CBD stuff in it. They got many other options that you can choose from. Go check it out, indigopapers.com. And if you do decide to purchase something from indigopapers.com, they have a spot on there where you can type in a promo code and get a little discount. Everybody likes a little discount. Mik'd Up 15 is that discount. Go ahead and put your email address with Mik'd Up 15. You'll get 15% off of all orders or of your order. And set yourself up to enjoy a nice weekend in a couple weeks. A nice weekend potentially this weekend. Listen, there's been a lot of studies that come out say this is better for you than alcohol. If you like to drink, throw back a couple beers, some wine.
What?
Hey,
Whiskey?
instead, what? Instead
Tequila?
Of, what?
Sneak it in the stadium?
She snuck it in the stadium right there. I was like, what is that? I was like, oh, it's like vodka? No, tequila. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
It's an energy
We're going to
boost.
talk about the game.
Yes, we are.
But Mik'd Up 15, go out there, 15% off all order of your order from IndigoPapers.com. We've enjoyed it. Look, the drip in the background of that picture, that is a water.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a THC, you got a seltzer. Not really. It's a
It's
sparkling.
a sparkling water.
Sparkling water that'll give you a little bit of a kick.
And then you combine that. I'm seeing what they're doing here. The Crontail. So you get the seltzer, like
The Green Dream.
the carbonated water, right, which has THC in it, and then you put the flavor, which also has THC in it. Make you a little cocktail,
Make a
little
little
Crontail.
cocktail. Enjoy yourself.
Pull all that out.
Enjoy yourself.
and
Go
out
try
of
it out.
box.
Let me know how it feels.
Mix one up.
But we appreciate y'all. We appreciate Toki Doki coming in. I'm hoping he enjoys those two free tickets. And I hope y'all enjoy their website. But we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, LSU comes off a big win, nationally televised on SEC Network, I believe it was.
Indeed.
Against Mississippi State last night. A lot to talk about because a lot of things that we anticipated happening did not happen, but LSU ended up winning the game. It was a very well-played game. Zach Cowan obviously continues his stellar season. Cade Anderson didn't pitch bad. We'll talk about why we think that they were able to hit more home runs against them than usual. Defense played well. Offense came up big one inning, but also extended runs as they go, and was able to hold them off. So they're one game up on the series. They go back again tonight against the ace of Mississippi State. Will be a challenge for them, but I like the way they match up, which we will get into throughout the course of the show. Also last night against Mississippi State, I believe, softball wins. They won game one of their series against Mississippi State. So congratulations to them. LSU women's basketball Sweet 16 game tonight. Lloyd, Jordan Colada show, gonna have a watch party.
That's right.
But this will be the same time as the LSU baseball game. So if you have split screens, if you're not at the LSU baseball game and you got split screens, great for you. If you're at the LSU baseball game, technology is a beautiful thing. Put on your phone. You can watch both. But obviously, women's basketball would love the emotional support from back home. So that is tonight. What time? 7, I guess. 6:30. 6:30. Exact same time as the baseball game. Weather's supposed to come in. For now, well, weather's supposed to come in. Seems like weather's starting to kind of fizzle out a little bit. A little chillier than anticipated. A little wind coming in there. Last night, wind affected a couple things. Got a couple homers, I think were affected by wind. Were blown over the fence. A couple homers that were kept in. Bear Jones hit 2 balls to right field that probably were home runs on normal days. Wind blowing from right to left, kept those balls in, and ended up not being home runs for him. But didn't need it. LSU won 8-6, and in the driver's seat for the series for the second week in a row. Let's see if they can avoid what happened last weekend on the road against Texas.
Oh man,
Me and Lloyd were at the game.
That's right.
Jared was not, but Jared was watching or paying attention. All right, well, I'll go Lloyd.
Yeah.
Let's go Lloyd first then. Lloyd, last night we were at the game. We got to watch the game together. What did you feel? What did you think about it? I will say this before you go.
Elite ball knowledge?
We did have a lot of nice ball. We had people eavesdropping on our conversations.
They got
a
a
lot.
free show.
They got a free show. A lot of $1 gambles.
That's right.
But I will say this: was it the 6th inning is when the LSU scored the 5 runs, or was it the 5th inning?
5th.
The 5th inning. That was the first real Alex Box moment we have seen. I know Missouri Saturday game had a moment, but this one in my mind was like the first real big one. LSU was down. Mississippi State had all of the momentum. They were up 5-2 at the time, or 5. It was 3-0. It was 4-0.
It was
5-2.
Yeah, it was 4-2.
4-2 and 5-2, and then
6-2.
Yep, that's what it was. 6-2. So Mississippi State had all the momentum. They scored 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then 1. So every inning they had scored a run. They had all the momentum. LSU's offense had scored 2 runs in the fourth. Felt like they were kind of chipping away at that momentum, and then Mississippi State scored 1 more.
Scored a run in the second and a run in the third.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. It felt like they were trying to chip away, but every time they would score a run, Mississippi State would respond, right? And so I looked at Lloyd and I was like, we need somebody to stop this momentum and get the crowd back into it, right? And so what happened was it was 6-2 in the bottom of the fifth, and you kind of felt the crowd felt it. We felt it. There was a walk. There was a base hit. There was, okay, now you're starting to get some people on base and some momentum. They take the pitcher out who had given up some runs the couple innings before. They bring in this new guy. He's struggling a little bit. You start hearing the chants, Chris Guillotte, go Tigers, the whole deal, right? Everything's happening. And I'm like, man, this feels like a big moment's going to happen here. I initially predicted a walk by Curiel, a home run by Bear Jones. Ended up being a walk by Curiel, a walk by Bear Jones, and then a 3-run homer on a great at-bat by Dickinson. Fouled off some pitches, hits a 3-run homer, makes it 6-5, and I'm like, damn, no outs. This guy is struggling, continued to struggle, then give up another 2-run homer to Milam. And once Dickinson hit the homer, that for me was like the first big Alex Box moment of the year, right? I texted him in the game. Obviously, He didn't get it until after the game. I said, welcome to your first Alex Box moment. And he texted me back. He was like, fucking electric, unbelievable. Let's go, whatever. So for me, that was really good to see. And then obviously LSU added on a run late, but Cowan came in and shut the door down. But Lloyd, from your perspective, watching the game, what did you see? What did you like? Give me your thoughts.
No, first of all, if you want to know how locked in the boys were, Lloyd, not one to pull out his phone, right? Like to take in the game, kind of watch it. I'm not good at producing content.
Didn't
Sometimes
tag Mik'd up in the post.
What happens happens. But we were watching, and this is after. It's when Dickinson's at bat where he's fouling balls off. He gets to 3-2, and I was like, Mikey, it feels like if there's a moment where Dickinson, where he was like, that place is awesome, and I was like, this is his moment that he gets to kind of become a part of LSU, like part of the tradition, part of the family. So I was like, let's see what's going to happen here. So I thought I'd just snag a little bit of video to see. Got the boys in there.
Got it in there.
So
I appreciate that.
You could see everything that you said is true. It was.
He said, "I'm never doing this again."
Yeah, it was awful. I was like, I didn't even get to really see it, but everything that you said was correct. Like from the beginning of the game, it felt a little odd, just where kind of how Cade was pitching, and you're like, well, you expect him to dominate.
And Curiel had the two-strike bunt, fouled it off. I was like, come on.
That kind of took the wind out of the sails of the stadium.
It was the first at bat.
Yeah. It was just, I think, the decision, and I was talking with my buddy about this, and I think I said it to you, where it felt like that was very much a Curiel decision. Like, no, I think it was
100%.
Okay.
I believe that too.
Yeah, because I was like, there's no way he would call that. Like, no. That was his, like, the shift was all the way over. There's nobody on third base, 2 strikes.
He's tried to do it before.
Yeah. And so, but it just felt like an odd, because of how hot he's been, what he's been able to do at the plate. It felt like it took the wind out of the stadium a little bit, where people love to question the coach. They love to do all of these things. So it took a little bit for LSU to shake back. Then you see the 2 walks, and you're like, if LSU's going to strike, it feels like it's going to be now. Huge inning, and you rode that all the way into the decision to put Cowan in.
So they take the lead. So I don't want to cut you off.
No, we're going to say the same thing. We're lockstep.
Cade Anderson, obviously, not his best start. And we'll go back to him. Connor Benj came in.
Maybe his best appearance.
Great bridge. Wasn't perfect, right? But he wasn't just giving away walks. They were fouling some balls off, and you'd like to see him not walk guys and not give up a run. But he was able to get through the 2/3 of an inning. He was able to get to that next inning without giving up major damage, and the offense was able to bail both he and Cade Anderson out to get it to Cowan with the lead and allow the guy to do what he's been doing all year, and he was electric. 7 strikeouts, four innings pitched.
Yep,
4 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, only gave up 1 hit. Was lights out as he has been, and so. Credit to Benj for that, and then obviously credit Cowan for keeping that momentum that the offense supplied with that big.
Nope, not doing that. But we will watch it
with that big 5-run inning. credit him. So, all in all, I think it was a really good win for LSU. Obviously, their backs against the wall, figured it out how to score runs when they needed to score runs, and figured out how to keep the Mississippi State at bay, who had some really good at-bats, and the offense swung the bat really well. Jared, I know you saw bits and pieces of it. What's your feelings on the game based off of the conversations we had before the show and what we've talked about so far during the show?
Well, I had to go back and look through it just to see what it was because, like you said, I saw bits and pieces. Like, I was able to actually watch probably the first 2 and a third of the game, and I didn't think Kay looked bad. I thought Kay still pitched with a ton of conviction. I thought he still threw the ball in the zone. I think he pitched a lot more with control than he did with command, whereas a week ago, and kind of how he's been throughout the year, it's been a lot of command and doing kind of what he wanted to do and putting the ball where he wanted. And he wasn't able to kind of put people away when he got to those spots this week. And look, that happens sometimes. You're in the zone a lot as much as he was. A lot of guys took some big swings at balls, and they were on fastballs yesterday. So you got to give him credit for that as well. I think Zach Cowan is continuing to grow in that role. I think he's getting more comfortable in that role, and that means only more trouble for opposing teams because he has been damn good in his ability to mix pitches. His ability to have pitchability on the mound is becoming more and more present and more obvious every single time he takes the ball and goes out there. And you're starting to get that feel like if Cowan's coming in to take the ball, you either don't need any more runs or you may just need one more in that situation to get you over the hump, because that's kind of how he's been able to go about doing his thing so far. I looked at it, and I have to go back and look at it again and see, but one thing I did like in a game like that where you're playing from behind, you've given up some big homers, you're at home, that's all great, but what I did see is I think the middle of the lineup, so probably 3 through 6 or 7, I think they sat at like 6 for 15 on the game. So for me, in a game where it's not like you just lit it up, I mean, you had 8 hits in the game, for those guys to show up in those situations, that's one of those things, again, where you're like, all right, I'm starting to feel it, because when you start to feel those guys in that area of the lineup produce and show up in games like this and show up in situations like this, that's the kind of stuff that plays late into May and into June.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I want you to go explain this a little bit to people who don't understand. You said Kay Anderson was pitching with control and not command last night. Can you explain that for people who are listening who may not understand what you mean?
Mikey's asking for himself.
No, I know exactly what it means.
So for me, the way I look at it honestly is like, pitching with control is I'm able to throw strikes. I may or may not be able to throw a second pitch for strikes, but I'm not necessarily commanding it. I'm not throwing the fastball where I want. I'm not dropping the first pitch breaking ball in there kind of how I want. I'm not able to move the ball around the zone the way I want to, which is now I'm actually executing a plan at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So like the difference when you're up there, you're pitching with control and you're throwing strikes, but you're nowhere truly like near your real target. You're not really doing the things you're trying to execute. You're just actually staying in a fight because you understand and you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're allowing yourself to be challenged. You're allowing yourself to be in that situation where you're saying, look, I may not have my best stuff right now, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to nibble. I'm not going to try to stay away from the middle of the plate, or I'm not going to try to not use the plate, if that makes any sense. And then those guys, I mean, like if you think about it, man, when you go watch like big league starters and you go watch aces in big league starts, they'll go like 5 or 6 starts in a row where they don't get sniffed. And then all of a sudden, early in the game, they've given up 3 homers because what they've had over the last 5 or 6 starts, over that month and a half, was a whole bunch of command. And then now all of a sudden, for whatever reason that day, they don't have the command, but they still have the control and the competitiveness to say, I'm still going to live in the zone, and then they just get hit early. Yeah. Because people start to realize guys like that who can throw 3 pitches for strikes, you got to go get those dudes early. Because if you let them sit there and you be too patient, they're going to throw what they want, how they want, hit the spots they want, and then they're going to move the ball and they're going to make you chase. And he was in the zone with control, and they swung the bat at well early, and you got to give them credit for that as well.
For sure, right? His first inning was long, right? They made it. They challenged it. They had
29
2-run
pitches,
homer.
I believe. I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was his longest inning. The other innings were, he gave up a run, but it was all solo homers. It wasn't like they were stringing together a bunch of hits or he was walking a bunch of guys. He grinded through it. Sometimes you got to do that. And then he comes back out for 1 out in the 5th inning because it was a lefty. And to me, that was important because he was able to come out there, do his job, strike the guy out, and able to shorten the appearance of Connor Benj and not allow him to have to face a lefty that has, righty-lefty matchups and allow him to, kind of get through that inning and bridge it to the next guy, which happened to be Cowan because LSU ended up taking the lead. But, yeah, I thought Cade Anderson was around the zone. I thought he was too much over the white part of the plate as opposed to
he was forced into
locating to where he wanted to be. And sometimes that happens, right? I'd rather that. We've talked about this. I'd rather a team beat me because they're getting hits as opposed to them beating me because I'm giving them free passes. And so, I think Cade's fine. I'm not worried about him. Kudos to LSU's offense for picking him up. And kudos to Cowan for dominating the way he did because that was much needed.
Well, and another thing that
and believe it or not, too, I'm about to say one real quick too. Believe it or not, like as a hitter, as a position player, like you said, when you say you would rather have someone get hit around than be walking the house, it's not even just a preference thing. As a hitter, as a position player, when you got guys that are up there just walking people left and right, and they're not competitive, and they're throwing pitches that are not that close, and they're not getting many swings, it puts everybody on their heels, and it's not just for defense. It puts you on your heels in terms of how you go about and how you approach your offensive inning, the part of your inning as well. So it's when you get guys that hit you around, but when we come back in one, I'm moving around, I'm running around a little bit. But when I also come back into the dugout, you still feel like you're in the game. You still feel energized. You still been running around and doing stuff. And I think that had a lot to do with how they were able to bounce back and then eventually have the big inning.
100%. Look, you're about to say something?
Yeah, you were talking about this during the game. What happened? LSU's going on this kind of tear offensively. Because we were talking about who was in the bullpen, because you can't see. You don't know who's over there. And you're like, should you bring in this one? LSU was losing. Like, do you think that they bring in Cowan? Like, no, it doesn't make sense to put him in when you're down because you don't want to burn him in a game where you don't know if you're going to be able to win. You're running out of innings. And you see the big inning, you go, I guarantee you Cowan's going to get ready and get into the baseball game. So when you saw Benj kind of bridge that, fifth inning to be able to get to Cowan.
The fifth. Top of the fifth.
To finish the top of the fifth off. And then you see LSU continue. They walked one, walked another, and that's when it felt like, okay, if LSU is able to either tie it or take a lead, you're going to see Cowan again. And to be able to get to that spot, that has to be what LSU wants to do every Friday or every game one of every series now.
100%, right? And, if you have the opportunity to go and end it with two pitchers, because he really did, because Benj is available for the rest of the weekend, right? The only two pitchers that aren't available, which Cade Anderson is never available for the weekend. He's only available for one start, and that's it. And then Cowan's not available because of what he did last night. And if you can only use two guys and you still have a full bullpen, you should be happy with that moving forward to Tuesday. I mean, it's a Saturday and Sunday. This weekend being Friday and Saturday. And so I think you're extremely happy with how that turned out. And I think we're not talking enough about the defense. You mentioned it before the show, Lloyd. An underrated play that people aren't going to talk a lot about. There was runners on second and third, 2 outs, and I don't know who was hitting for Mississippi State, but he hits a cue ball, soft little liner up the middle that bounces a couple times, and Dickinson has to come range to his right, come forward through the ball over the bag, pick it on a short hop, and make a good throw on the guy running to be able to get the third out. And he does it, and he makes it look really easy. I think that should be highlighted because LSU made every play that they needed to make defensively. Obviously, if you ask Milam, he wishes he would have made caught the fly ball that led to the one that kind of came back. Really hard play. Ran from behind second base all the way to the foul line, and the ball kind of came back over his head, and it's a tough play. He catches that third out. He would say, I should catch that. And the next one ended up being the RBI double. But it didn't end up hurting LSU. Outside of that, everything else they did defensively was really good, and that should not go unnoticed.
I think because of how good LSU's played defensively, that you kind of take some of these things for granted up the middle, what you have with Dickinson and Milam. But you saw it even yesterday with Mississippi State making errors in the field. Like one throwing error led to a run. And it's like little things like that LSU doesn't do on the defensive side of the baseball. Like they field everything cleanly. They're probably the best, I would say, for my money, the best middle infield in baseball right now, at least that it would be hard to argue against for offense and defensively. But those little plays like that in college baseball don't always go the way that you expect them to when you think of like professional baseball players. Like they should make that play. College doesn't happen as often as you would think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you too. When you watch those two play up the middle right now,
It's easy.
I think a lot of how people overlook it is because of their style of play.
Mm-hmm.
They play such a casual and like very just clean ball game that you almost don't realize when they are trying hard, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You almost don't realize when it is a tough play because they're so smooth and how casually they make plays.
Yeah, it's like it's like watching Robinson Cano.
Yeah.
Like when he was playing things, like, are you gonna try? It's like, it just looks good. I'm sorry, I'm smooth.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Anytime you get Friday night one's a huge thing, right? The big one that happened last weekend was Saturday, right? Ianson has been good, not great yet. Chase Shores has had his moments. He hasn't reached the pitcher that he's going to be. But going into tonight, Ianson is going to be on the mound against their ace. Obviously, clearly their best pitcher at Mississippi State. I believe Ianson, based off of what I saw this last night with Mississippi State and how they approached Anderson and how they approached Cowan, I believe Ianson matches up really well with this Mississippi State team. I feel like they're not going to be able to tee off on his fastball. People talk about, he doesn't throw hard. Last outing, he was touching 96.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs to calm down with he doesn't throw hard. He sits 92, 94, and
He was like 3 to 6.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to calm down with that. He's got enough fastball, right? And he's got two different types of breaking balls, and he locates them all. So I believe he's going to try to pitch backwards like he has done in the past. I think he's able to locate that slider, and he's going to be able to get them to expand the zone with his fastball. I like the matchup with Ianson. I like him getting to the 6th inning tonight, and I like LSU winning the game. So does Caesars. Caesars has LSU minus 3.5. I'm not taking that, but they have it minus 3.5, which is wild.
Yeah, I like him in this spot, and I do think, man, if he's able to start throwing that breaking ball early and often and locating it early in counts and burying it late in counts, I think it's going to be a very good game for him because that's what we've seen so far is when he's going out and executed that ball game, he was really good at it. And now I'm not going to sit here and say he can't throw a fastball, but what we just watched last night is that this team loves to jump on fastballs. They love to go jump on them at early in counts as well. So if Ianson can kind of get in there, flip that breaking ball when he wants, and then kind of start pitching backwards like Mikey just said, I think this could be a very good night for him. But if he doesn't, it could be a quick hook. That's what kind of night it could be.
Right. And so I look, I don't think he's going to give up 4 homers. I think that's what Kay Anderson gave up yesterday, maybe 3 homers, 3 or 4 homers, whatever he gave up. As long as he is in the zone and not walking guys, I believe he's going to have a good day. Right? If he's walking guys and he's getting behind counts, obviously that's a recipe for disaster for him. I think our offense is going to have their work cut out for him. I think the best I don't want to say best, but I think what our offense does best is they're very patient. They force the pitcher to grind out at bats. They make him throw a lot of pitches, and by doing that, you get your pitch count up and hopefully get the guy out early on. If you get him out because you score a ton of runs, that's great. But I believe that the way that LSU approaches their offensive, like their lineup, the way they approach pitchers is, hey, we're going to stay within ourselves. We're going to be patient. We're going to grind out at bats. We're going to take advantage of the mistakes. And if they continue to do that, I believe this guy is going to end up throwing more pitches than he wants to early on, and they're going to get him a quick hook and get to the bullpen, which we saw what happened last night. Once you get to the bullpen, that's kind of when the offense starts to thrive. So I like LSU's matchup tonight, and then hopefully you win that game and you put yourself in a position to sweep on Saturday with Chase Shores, who's looking to have a big rebound start.
Yeah, I think he needs his first really true start. If he can get his footing, and I know he hasn't pitched poorly, but to kind of go out and be dominant, I think that's when everything's going to kind of fall into place. He's on the same timeline as Gage Jump was, who moved in to probably be not your best pitcher, at least your second best pitcher.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of feels where he is right now. And I'm waiting I think we all are waiting to see Shores, because the conversation is only going to get louder with Cowan moving into the rotation. I don't want to see that change yet. I like the way that it's set up, like the way that they're doing it on Friday, and people are going to go kick rocks again if they're mad that you threw Zach Cowan in a win. I don't know what to tell you. He has to pitch, and he pitches in a great spot, and he's able to get you 4 innings and a win. You sign up for that 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that covered. Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, there's a couple things. Like, whatever you're clamoring about in terms of the starters right now, I think is kind of goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because name a game where on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, when the starter has come out of the game this year, that you still didn't have a chance to win that ball game. Name one this year. It hasn't happened. Not once has that happened yet. So for me, what's the reason to change the starters right now? It is great to see what Cowan's doing, but he's also having that luxury to where I don't have to throw him on Friday. I could throw him on Friday, or I could throw him on Saturday, or I could throw him on Sunday and make sure I get those wins. I think that's something that's actually super impressive. So I'm loving the spot that he's in, and I love what you're getting from the starters in terms of they're keeping you in ball games.
Yeah.
And I think that's impressive. Now, secondly, I'll say this too. Then this is just my belief. Jay would probably never say this, and he's already said they play a 56-game playoff, right? Every game they're going to approach it like that. But I personally think tonight, being that they know that the front end of the schedule was more favorable than the back end of the schedule. Mm-hmm. I think that to get a series win tonight is something that's very important for them, right? And I'm sure, like I said, he'll say that everyone is important, and I don't disagree with that. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because, just as we talked earlier, you threw your starter and then you threw Cowan. So now you had another reliever that went 2/3 of an inning, and you have the entire bullpen. I think outside of people getting super hot towards the back end of the year, the guys that he goes to out of the pen today, I think those are the guys right now that's on the top of his mind saying, these are the guys I trust. These are the guys I want in there at that spot. And I think if they pitch well and it continues to go that way, you can see those kind of guys in those same roles towards the back end of the year.
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to pose this question, right? We saw last night, what the Friday or Thursday
Game one.
Game one recipe is. Kate Anderson usually goes out there, throws 6 innings, and then Cowan comes in after, finishes the game, boom. Right? Last night, not full 6, but Cowan finished the game, won the game. Saturday last week, it wasn't that same recipe. They used a bunch of guys. They walked more guys on Saturday than they wanted to out the bullpen. I'm interested to see if Ianson goes deeper into the game, because we saw it on Sunday last week with Case and Evans throwing multiple innings and looking really good. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if they do that same recipe with Case and Evans and Ianson tonight, knowing how important it is for them to win this game. If they have the lead in the 7th inning, does Case and Evans come in and finish the game? Right? Like, I'm interested. Jay extended him last week. I'm interested to see if he does it again this week.
Yeah, dude, that's a great point. I think that's 100% on the table this week, especially because of what you got out of last night in usage material from the pen.
Yeah.
If you're able to extend Ianson tonight and you get into the 7th or late into the 6th, maybe say you get into the 6th, or maybe he goes 3 1/3, maybe he goes 2 2/3, or somewhere around there. You get him to that, like, I'd say 8 to 9 out range, maybe 8 to 10 out range is probably where the most that you want him in. But if you're able to extend Ianson tonight, I would not be shocked at all trying to lock down a series win this week. Because, look, you got to remember, you still got a lot of, like, if that's all you got to use, you would still come back Sunday with Benj, with Rizzi, with Primo, with
Newt.
All these guys, they still got
Newt's available. Schmidt's available.
You got Schmidt. You got everybody. So, like, I could see easily where you go into Sunday, and it's not like hey, I'm going to give you a short hook, but it's, we got it all available. So you're gonna you're gonna run Chase out there, Chase Shores out there to do his thing, and you're gonna find a way to win the game because you pretty much have the entire arsenal available for you.
Correct.
So Stan Ianson tonight, I would not be surprised at all if you saw Case and Evans come out for somewhere between 8 to 10 outs.
Right, and even if you don't extend Ianson, if you have the lead in the 7th, I would imagine that you are going to see him for the next couple innings. I say that. I mean, it depends on how big the lead is, but I believe that's your one of your most trusted guys out the bullpen behind Cowan. Like, I think that if you're trying to win that game and he's available, he showed last weekend he can do it and be effective. I think you may see that again tonight. And then because Schmidt, I don't believe is going to be available tonight. Maybe, but he threw on Tuesday. I know he has started, like he's been training or pitching as a starter, right? They brought him out of the bullpen on Tuesday. Maybe I think definitely on Saturday he's available. I think Jay would probably rather use him on Saturday than tonight. But so yeah, I mean, I think that if you can shorten the game with Case and Evans, I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Definitely be on the lookout for that. I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, Evans went 3 2/3 against Texas, his longest outing, and it was give up 1 earned. But my first thought was, I know that Schmidt pitched obviously against ULL 2 innings, faced 11 guys. Like probably the pitch count got a little bit more inflated than he wanted. But in a perfect world, right? You can go Cade Anderson to Cowan like you did yesterday, and there's another formula that feels the same with whether it be Ianson to Schmidt or Shores to Schmidt, where you can kind of do that same thing because he does have like that starter build where he can go extended innings.
Yeah, he's got to prove to you that he's going to be able to do it.
That's in a perfect world. If he's able to get comfortable in that role and you can throw him 4 or 5 innings.
So essentially, the way they would do it is you'd have 3 guys. You have 3 starters and you'd have 3 piggyback guys.
Yeah,
that's essentially what that conversation is like. And on paper that sounds great. In reality, that's not as easy to do as you would think, because there's matchup situations. There's a bunch of lefties in a lineup sometimes. There's guys that rake. You have to depend on that. But if you got 2 guys out the pen that you don't care if it's righty or lefty that they're facing, that's very important to have. And so. I'm just curious to see how they manage the bullpen and who comes in and how they do that over the course of these next couple games, because that was the big conversation last weekend.
People are still mad about Texas. It's insane.
I know, but they'll forget about it when LSU wins the series.
Or if LSU does it again, good Lord, is that conversation?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
God,
let's not talk about that. But I do think Ianson matches up well. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Now.
Save Cowan, goddamn it.
Listen, it could be worse. You could be 0-7 in the SEC like Florida. Florida 0-7.
Stay in emergency there right now, huh?
Lost Ole Miss, not great. A&M, what, 0-6? Or 1-5?
0-6 going into tonight. They didn't play last night, so yeah, 0-6.
0-6 going into tonight. Could be, it could be worse. It could be in a big predicament like they are. Let's go a little bit around the SEC, and then let's talk about our gambling bets, Lloyd, that we put in there.
What's funny is that...
Actually, before we do that, let's talk about our fantasy baseball
Oh, hell yeah.
team that we drafted.
I would want to talk about it if I were you, too.
We drafted...
What my shit look like? I must be cooking them right now. What do it look like?
We drafted a team based off of LSU. It's not the typical fantasy baseball where you get certain points for it. There's a max amount of points you can potentially get, and it's based off of players on your team. So if your player is leading in a category, that's 3 points. Based off of what we drafted, not necessarily on the team average, just based off drafted players. And if your guy's in second, it's 2 points. Your guy's in third place, it's 1 point, and then you go from there. So the max amount of points is 3 times however many categories there are. Okay? And so, which makes it a little bit easier for the math. We got a spreadsheet. If you don't like spreadsheets, we'll read them out to you. Leading the league, leading the mic'd up league of 3 would be me. With a total of how many points? 28? 29.
28. You got Eddie. You're
28
absolutely destroying the batting total, and that is because of one Bear Jones, who is leading your team with 43 hits. And I mean, you look at also the pick of Curiel.
Yeah, don't act. Curiel's right there behind him.
And then you got Tanner Reeves coming up the rear here pretty quickly, where he's starting to get extended at bats. But so you win the category of hits because you just look at the totals down here. And batting average, you get 3 points. Home runs, you get 3 points. Runs, you nearly a clean sweep.
I think y'all messed up on the Tanner Reeves runs.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, because there's no way he has 36.
Well, here, I'll take him out. But
35.
You would still be leading.
Right.
But you're obviously clean sweeping the offensive categories, and pitching not doing terrible for you as well. As you go down the list, I am dominating the pitching category, as I will show you. Jared, you're last in everything. I don't know what happened.
Sounds like my team's just waiting to go get sparked at the end of the year. It's all good, man. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, you got some guys that are starting to get, like Josh Pearson's starting to swing it again. Luis Hernandez is starting to find his way. Obviously, you took Dickinson, and Dickinson's been great. You know, he's like right behind. He's second in homers, right? So, you know, you got some guys, and then Lloyd, your pitching staff is carrying you.
Yes, absolutely. As my, let's see if I can find him right here. Yes, I took Chase Shores, Connor Ware, and it's all Zach Cowan, really. As Zach Cowan has given me 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 points for 12 of my 14. So pitching is carrying the day, and I thought when I drafted, you made this comment when it happened, when I took my offensive guys, Milam, Brown, Braswell, Stanfield, of like, thought that this, I'm going to try, after you took Bear in the first pick, I was like, okay.
You're going to try to go stolen bases.
I was going to try to go stolen bases and runs. Bear turns out to be stealing bases and lack of foresight by me. If you hit a home run, that also counts towards your runs,
Yep.
which makes a lot of sense. But I believe in my guys, as I've been slowly but surely second in hits, second in average, last in home runs, which is expected, second in runs, and first in stolen bases. So
there you go.
It is a matchup of power versus speed, and somehow you have power and speed.
That's it. We did not put a wager on this. This is
still owe me $1.
We're still figuring it out. But
Time out. What the hell you mean matchup? Matchup only means 2. Damn it, I'm in this race too. The hell you mean matchup?
Hey, listen, long season. Got a lot left. Got a lot of game left.
Yeah, bro, what are you talking about?
Got a lot of game
marathon.
left.
There's not no damn sprint.
Yeah, you, Florida, and Texas A&M are all having the same conversation. A lot of season left, boys.
Got a lot of game left. I don't think that. I think
matchup, man. You better get out of here.
Lloyd is his team is very much pitcher heavy. He's not probably gonna lead in RBIs or homers. That's just not gonna happen.
That's just the facts.
That's just what's gonna happen, right? Like Jared has a chance because he's got Dickinson, who's got 7. Bear Jones got 9. You would imagine Bear would lead, but you just never know, right?
He's gonna sew up that 2 spot, though.
Was that?
I think he's gonna sew up the 2 spot.
Oh yeah,
sure. I don't think
Milam's right on him. Those 6.
Yeah, I don't think Stanfield's leaving anytime soon. But maybe
No.
you run into one.
Yeah, Stanfield. I mean, he's not gonna be a double-digit guy, but it's okay. That's not what he's there for.
He needs to start stealing some bases.
That's not what he's there for. All right, let's talk to the actual gambling side. Last night there was only 2 games in the SEC: LSU versus Mississippi State and Ole Miss versus Florida. Ole Miss beats Florida in game 1, puts Florida 0-7 in the SEC. Not good. That's not how they drew that up. Ole Miss 5-2 in the SEC, playing good baseball. Ole Miss always seems to be right in the middle of it, and then hopefully this year they can avoid the big collapse like they had the last couple years where they go on this long losing streak. But it seems like they've kind of fixed that issue. What other matchups we have in the SEC? Do you have them pulled up, Lloyd?
Yes, I do. The SEC matchups.
We'll just go about who we think is going to win the matchup in the series.
We have, starting from the top, Florida, number 19 Florida, until the polls come out.
Yeah.
Number 19 Florida at number 15 Ole Miss.
Well, you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 11 Auburn at number 2 Georgia.
Well, let's just go in order, so I'm gonna forget them all.
Oh,
so,
okay. I just didn't know if you want to run through the whole thing and go back.
Ole Miss, Florida. The law of averages say that Florida has to win a game, right? At some point. I think Ole Miss wins the series. I think Florida wins tonight.
Yeah, I got. I don't know if it happens tonight or not. Honestly, I thought we were just going series, but if you're gonna go game and series,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go Ole Miss wins tonight, and Ole Miss wins the series but doesn't sweep. Man, Florida. Here's where it's alarming for me when I think about Florida, and I'm just kind of going off of what I just happen to quickly see. But you would imagine when you're 0-6 in the league, there has to be like some kind of like come to Jesus conversations, whether it's through the team or whether it's just like by yourself, and then you go into the next game. They walked 13 people last night.
Right.
13. Cool. That's alarming, man. That's trouble when you're looking at yourself saying we ain't getting it done, and then we proceed to go out there and walk 13 more.
Yeah.
So because of that, it makes me feel like you just don't have what it needs. And they got a lot of guys that are out right now. They got, I think, 2 position players, maybe like 4 arms that are out. I got them losing again tonight, but I do think they squeeze one out in this series.
I like it.
Next one up. I don't have any opinions on this.
Okay.
Number 11 Auburn at number 2 Georgia.
I like this one. Auburn's been playing good baseball. Georgia's obviously been playing elite baseball. Auburn's at Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Georgia, second-ranked team in the country.
I know.
Many people probably don't know that.
I know. My heart wants to say Auburn's going to win this series, but my gut says Georgia's going to win it. So I'm going to say Georgia wins the series.
Your heart's on Georgia, huh? Well, or Auburn, huh?
No, my heart's on Auburn.
I'm going to go with
Skybar's great.
With,
had good times
I think a couple things. Georgia humming right now. They somehow found a way to completely replace Condon, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. I think they have the nation's home run leader again right now. And they're playing at home. And I think they're a really good team, especially in that ballpark. And I don't know if people know this. I think that ballpark got a lot of upgrades, so it may be a little bit better of a atmosphere than it's even been in the past. I think they will win the series. I don't think they sweep, but I think they win tonight.
Yep.
Next one up, Oklahoma at number 10, Alabama.
I like Bama.
I like LeBron.
Me too.
I like Bama winning this series, and for some reason I got in the back of my mind very sneaky suspicion that a sweep is possible in this one. But I got Bama winning the series.
The only the one game that I feel like Oklahoma, I mean the Friday night game with Oklahoma's ace who's been good is the one game that's like, all right, Oklahoma, if they don't want to get swept, they got to win this one.
Yeah.
Sunday still continues to be a mixed bag.
Yeah, of course.
Tough. Unranked battle between the uglies, Kentucky at Texas A&M.
Give me A&M winning the series. I don't know how and what all is going to happen, but give me A&M at home winning this series somehow, because if they don't, the noise might get loud, man. I'm afraid it might get loud.
I'm with you with that. I'm with A&M winning the series. I think A&M sweeps.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Gets right back in it.
Okay.
I don't know. Kentucky's got heart.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Texas at Missouri. Oh, playing at Missouri. Do you see where their field?
Missouri's probably a little cold right now.
Well, let's see.
Probably a little cold. Let's see. But I would will in the bet that's probably not warm in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, Columbia. That's where it is. Oh, bring your Columbia jackets.
There you go.
Yeah. What do you? I got Texas winning the series, not sweeping though.
Oh.
That's a tough place to go and play, especially early on.
Yeah, Drury.
Yeah.
Not cold.
Oh,
78.
Never mind.
But nasty.
Rainy?
Yeah, rainy on Saturday. Precipitation chances around 20%. They have the little cloud on it, and then around 55%.
Yeah, I got Texas winning the series.
But not, what do they play? What time do they play? Let's see, I have it right here. 7 p.m.? Around 7 p.m. it'll be in the 60s. 65.
That's not bad. Better than I thought.
Tonight, though, hot. 75.
Yeah.
Not hot, but not cold. And did you see Missouri's baseball stadium? It is sponsored by the naming rights were purchased by a fraternity on campus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's how cheap it is.
Yeah, right. That's so amazing.
It is awesome. But I saw that on, I think it was SEC ran or something, but they're like, it's a little embarrassing for us, but good for those guys. Like, that's awesome, but it shows how much we have put into baseball this year because we don't care about it.
Wow. That's crazy.
Best game they play all year might be the Saturday game against LSU.
No doubt. They have a win, don't they? Did they win one last weekend? I'm pretty sure they beat.
Who, Missouri?
Yeah.
I think they're in the same spot as A&M, honestly. I think.
I thought they had one win. I could be wrong.
They're 9-14, 0-6.
Well, next.
Nope. 2 sweeps. Okay, 2 sweeps.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Number 1, Tennessee at Uncle Paul's house, South Carolina.
Tennessee. And I think it's a sweep.
Tennessee wins the series. I think Paul finds a way to get him kind of going. I know it's tough for him early on here. He's not really one to have teams get swept 2 weeks in a row or however many weeks in a row. They find a way to win. I'm just not sure they get this series here. It's a tough one for him. It's a tough spot to be in right now.
Yeah, I like Tennessee. I I don't want to see a sweep, but I'm kind of leaning towards a sweep.
They just coming off the Arkansas sweep. It's 2-12, 3-12, 4-11.
Yeah.
And then lost to North Carolina 8-13. Tennessee's probably going to put up some runs.
Yeah. Take the over.
We did.
I know. That's what we're about to get to.
7:30. 6:30 Central. Mississippi State at number
Well,
5, LSU.
I mean, I like LSU win the series.
Sweep?
Whoa. No.
You would save this for after?
Yeah. No sweeps.
All right. Next one up, Arkansas.
No, we could. We can talk about it.
I know if we want to do like picks to click, prediction.
No,
okay.
that's fine.
What you got, Jay?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. After watching what he's done so far this year, I think it's a very well played game, a very low scoring game. I got Mississippi State tonight, man. The lefty they throw tonight, very, very, very tough. He's gonna be tough. They just put it like that. And they can swing the bat, obviously. They swing it well, and you don't get, I guess, top end production in terms of how he's able to work and use his breaking ball from Ianson tonight. They might find a way to clip a couple and or push a couple across. I got Mississippi State tonight in a pretty low-scoring ball game and a tight one. Pretty well, I would say the majority of the way through.
Do you like LSU win the series?
But I like LSU winning the series.
There you go.
Yes.
Like I said, that would be all-time noise if they win Friday, lose Saturday, Sunday, or guess.
Yeah,
the last
first
two.
game 1, 2,
exactly.
yeah. Got you.
What the fuck is LSU giving up?
I don't know, dude. That's
runs?
confusing me.
I don't know.
We got any more before we go to our gambling bets?
Yeah, we got one more series.
Number 1 Arkansas at number 12 Vanderbilt. The Vandy boys.
Good series. I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna say Vandy wins the series. Very, very competitive series though.
Okay. I gave my upset earlier. I think this was a series win for Arkansas, and a win tonight as well. I think they're playing well. They're humming. They're feeling themselves right now. They just demolished South Carolina. Like I see them. They feel good about themselves right now. I think Arkansas gets this win.
All right, let's get to our gambling conversation. Lloyd, you want to talk about our bets?
I do. I'm pulling them up right now.
I am too.
As we proceed, we were close to hitting 3 parlays last week. Only hit 1.
I didn't hit one because I didn't bet till Sunday when that was on me.
Yeah, and you could have been in the party for another one, pal, but you decided not to bet. And that's what happens. Just get to keep your hands in your pockets and watch. Here's our little safe parlay that we have.
This is the All SEC parlay. Auburn at Georgia over 14.5.
14.
Well, I got a 14.5.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Tennessee at South Carolina over 13.5. Texas at Missouri over 13.5. That would give you on mine plus 494 odds. And then we have another parlay. Arkansas money line at Vandy. Now, even though I did say I think Vandy wins the series. North Carolina Tar Heels money line against Miami. I couldn't find the Xavier game.
Me either, because it's already started.
Yeah, that's why. Auburn at Georgia, money line Georgia. Tennessee at South Carolina, Tennessee minus 3.5.
So LSU is favored the same amount as Tennessee over South Carolina.
Yep.
I found that odd, and that's the reason I threw LSU in there because.
So you didn't tell me that.
Oh, I also didn't tell you.
See, here we go. This is what happened.
Last night, I
This is what
hit.
happens.
Let's see what I did last night.
You live betted 7 times.
I did. I told you then.
I know.
Yeah, why
no,
didn't you
not all of them.
I did. So I had LSU. It was 3.5 last night. Felt better about that one. I got the money line live, and I got LSU minus 1.5. Took that one. Then LSU plus 1.5. Took that one.
I saw you take that one.
So
I thought there was another one you took.
I had LSU minus 2.5 that didn't cash, but making a good bit. I didn't know you could live bet college baseball like this, so I will be continuing to do so.
Yeah, I love that.
LSU. Like if you can't take the first 5, like you can in some like Major League Baseball, you can take essentially the starter. Do that if Paul Skeens pitches every game. LSU, you can take the last 4. You just have to live bet it, and that's when the tires get hot.
Yes.
So good day for me.
Good day. It's gonna be a good day for all of us today, no doubt.
And LSU I believe the run line is 13.5. The total.
Yes, it is.
Any feel? Any lean?
Jared likes the under.
I heard that. That's what made me ask.
Not
Yeah, I like the under.
Not disagreeing. Not disagreeing with that either.
What if the wind is doing the same thing?
Still don't disagree with it.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. Go look at the. I'm taking the under. I like the under on this one.
So yesterday would have hit the over.
Why is my internet not working on my phone?
I do believe that I took the over just because I wanted to. No real feel, because everything that we know about this matchup, it tends to LSU's going to win. It feels like it's going to be an under game, right? That means Ianson pitched well, pitched extended. You feel like you have a good pitching matchup, but after I saw what Zach Cowan did and his ability to pitch backwards, started everybody off the first time through with a changeup, and it kind of they threw him off for the entire night. Then he got up to like 93. Ianson been pitching backwards for the majority of his short career at LSU, where it feels like he's starting people off with whether it be a changeup, breaking balls, whatever, off speed. And he can touch it up to 95. Like you said, people think he doesn't throw hard. It just doesn't look like he's trying to throw hard. And if LSU and Ianson, if he can be able to stay in the fight, I'd like to see him go more than 5. Because I
like Ianson. I like Iason's matchup today. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
You talk about betting the first 5. You missed the slam dunk bet of the year. Can't go back. Can't do it again. Opening day lineups in Major League Baseball next year, just for future reference. I'll try to remind you. Tyler O'Neill, bet him to hit a homer. 6 straight opening days with a home run. Mm-hmm.
Is he a Yankee?
No, he's an Oriole.
6 straight opening days, huh?
6 straight
That's
opening
impressive.
days with a home run. What a way to start! Hey, get the first one out the way early. He's done it 6 straight years.
But
makes
yeah.
me feel old that he's been in the
Coach.
big leagues for
I
6
show
years.
up. I show up to the season, hit homers. That's what I do.
That's it.
Just play one day a year. I just play on opening day.
That's it.
That's got to be better than the Bryce Harper thing, because Bryce Harper's like known for that shit too. He does it all the time.
He had another one too. I think he does. Bryce Harper hits a lot of them on his birthday, or maybe Trout. One of those guys.
Too. No, Harper does the birthday too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big birthday guy. Big birthday homer.
There's a deep drive to left by Castellanos.
Opening day and birthday guy.
I think Castellanos takes the cake on all things home run related.
No doubt.
When it comes to the timing of it all.
I agree with that.
But
Josh Smith, number 3 on top plays.
What's a great play?
Great play. Had the opening day start at shortstop. Seager was a DH.
Yeah, we played third base last year. He was like utility man of the year, was he not?
Well, he was a silver slugger for the utility.
That's what it was. And now it feels like he might have found a home at shortstop, his natural position.
Well, I think Seager's going to still play short. I don't think Seager's going to DH the whole year. Well, why would he not play short opening day?
Exactly.
Interesting. Paid him a lot of money to play short.
He might have something going on, man.
Yeah, right.
You never know.
Right.
Good enough to still play and hit, but he may have something going on. So it's like, hey, why risk him and throw him out there in that situation if we don't need to? He may have something going on. You never know.
Correct.
Ianson has, but from his
They don't have some big money. They don't have some dude that they're paying a ton of money to DH to right now. So like that helps them in that situation where they can kind of move everything around.
Yeah.
First 4 starts for Ianson all went over 5 innings, or 5 innings or more. The last 2, 3 2/3 and 4 1/3.
I know. I think he's due for a good one.
Yeah, because if you see that, then I can see why I guess people are kind of starting to rustle the papers around to see who else they would want to put in there, because 4 earned both. But 5 strikeouts and 6 strikeouts. It is like to see him get back on the right side of this
I think
thing.
tonight's tonight.
I do too.
All right.
Jared doesn't.
That's it. We got you got a mistake of the day?
That's 100% not what I said. Or I would be taking the over, you dick fuck.
I do have a mistake of the day. I think I already put it in here.
100% not what I said.
Oh, yes. Mistake of the day. Stephen A's been in the news quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he killed a man that was not dead on the air and had to go back and clean up some a little housekeeping on that front.
I do not retract anything else that I said, though.
No.
As we made sure to say that.
He's the best. And he's had a hell of a run here. I'm sure he was tickled pink by LeBron's fourth quarter antics when he gave up 6 points in 9 seconds and made them lose the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
But why is this not pulling up?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith accused.
It's been in the news a lot.
Which Stephen A. probably should have known this, that he was there. I don't know why he said that. Tried to bring up Kobe Bryant, which anytime you talk about somebody that is deceased, to try to like make a point and like.
Well, the best thing he did was, you know what I didn't bring up?
Yeah, right. Oh, well, you just brought it up.
We just did it. So.
Yeah, you just brought it up.
So. I could have brought up these things that I never have, and I continue to list 4 things that I just didn't bring up. But
says that he was not at the funeral of Kobe Bryant. You're lying. He was there.
He asked to not be photographed.
Which is very respectful. It's not about me.
Not about me.
It's about Kobe.
And here he is. Stephen A. continues on a generational run.
Listen, it's the NCAA tournament, so anything can happen in a one-game scenario. So, of course, he'll have a chance. And, of course, he'll have his teams in the tournament. Of course, he's going to be able to recruit better than anybody ever has there outside of Mr. 40 Minutes of Hell himself, the late, great Nolan Richardson, God rest his soul. But in the same breath, if anybody can compete with that and bring a national program back to Arkansas, it is John Calipari. I think he's already done it. Listen, it's the NCAA tournament.
Killed Nolan.
Killed him. He's alive.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Oh, man.
Tough.
His LeBron thing is that stuff's getting, that's a lot going on right there.
And then he posted that whack-ass boxing training video, and LeBron said with the crying emoji face. God damn, that was so funny.
Yeah, and then the whole team.
He said, if LeBron would have put his hands on me, I would have swung at that man.
Right then.
Boy, you would have swung right then. That would have been embarrassing on your part.
Yeah, I don't know how that fight.
Hey, my only thing is this, and that whole thing is Stephen A. talks a lot about like covering the NBA and you know talking about those things that matter in the NBA. I guarantee you, if outside of the basketball community, the majority of the people that watch that show, they probably couldn't even name who the number 1 and the number 2 pick were in the draft this year. I can't even name them.
Right.
So for me, when I think about if I'm covering the NBA, I would probably spend more time saying that those 2 were a bust than the guy that went like 100 picks behind them. Right? Like, because if you're saying that the kid that went that far down is not ready, and we obviously ain't seeing shit happening with the 2 that were 1 and 2 in the league, then who was ready this year?
Right.
So, like, to me, like, it seems a little more personal than in terms of just I'm covering the NBA. Like, I get it. LeBron's son brings you more names, brings you more eyes, all of that stuff. But why are we going so hard on that situation?
Correct.
He was the 50th. He was like the 55th pick in the draft, man. Like,
correct.
Name me the guy that's still in the league that from the last 10 years that was drafted in that spot.
I can't believe he tried to say that.
It's a little weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird, and that's what LeBron says. Like, these guys are just weird.
Yeah. The LeBron interview on McAfee was awesome. Awesome.
I didn't even see all of it.
It was good.
Saw like bits and pieces.
Yeah, it was good.
It was it was longer than I thought he was going to be there.
All right, curtain calls. Lloyd?
I'm trying to find mine because I have it, but it won't link the way that I want it to. Here we go.
I'll give you mine. My curtain call is, I mentioned it on the betting aspect of baseball. Now that baseball's here, Tyler O'Neill, 6 straight opening days with a homer. That's pretty impressive. Opening day, obviously, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of opening day jitters. He obviously takes that and uses that as motivation. 6 straight games, that's very hard to do. So, shout out to him.
I like it. I will give mine to. So it's become a thing now, and they're doing this stuff a whole lot more than what they even were doing it. I guess when he was still playing, but Ichiro threw out the first pitch
again,
and
did he go
start
full
the
union?
year, and yeah, it was actually very, very nice again. I'm trying to find his age really quick because Ichiro right now is sitting at 51 years old. Clocked at 84 throwing the first pitch yesterday. Still throwing bullets up there.
And
so I'm going to give it to Ichiro because when you watch what he's doing and you see him in full uni and you see him do that, you're like, oh, that's impressive for a 51-year-old. That's impressive.
Speaking of impressive for age, nothing better than old folks. Just middle of the game. I gotta go. I'm out of here. Y'all can do your little basketball thing. But Grandma, little pick. Excuse me.
The kid's like, what the hell? My bad. I gotta go.
I'm gonna talk to the coach. Say what's
What
up.
you gonna tell her? You can't tell her. What you gonna tell her?
That's what I'm saying. That's the curtain call's age.
She said, "Fuck this! I ain't walking all the way
These
around
kids
this.
suck."
I ain't walking around this court. I'm going right through the court.
Hey, what's the fastest way to point A to point B?
Straight line.
Straight line.
LSU, big news.
Victorious Miller.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Yep, big news, bad news. Jalen
Reed
coming back.
Yeah.
Victorious Miller out.
He's gonna go play for Xavier.
There you go.
UNO.
Master P.
Yep.
Huh. I don't know. Not great.
Not great.
Whole new team next year. We'll see what happens.
Have you ever seen Ichiro in not a baseball uniform?
I don't know. That's a very good
I
question.
do not know.
Because I mean, it's a bit bizarre that he does still wear the full uni.
I got to play against East Row, which is kind of cool. My debut.
What team was he on?
The Marlins.
Do you think he's more known as a Marlin or a Mariner?
Mariner.
He could still play if he wanted to.
Yep. No doubt. What are y'all doing this weekend? Are you going to the game, Lloyd?
Watch party, dog.
Tomorrow.
Oh, probably.
Okay. Jay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna watch some Major League Baseball. I'm gonna check out some ball this
There you go.
weekend, man. Obviously, that's another curtain call too, as well.
Yeah,
Major League Baseball started, so we can kind of do that a little bit of love too. I went to the game last night. I actually went to the Astros game yesterday. So
I saw that.
Cool.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How'd they do?
Trash can, ha ha ha.
No, I think they got those out of there. They don't even have them in there anymore.
How'd they do?
I left in the ninth. They were up 3-0, but I think it ended up being 3-1 maybe. And I think Hader struck out Juan Soto to end the game. I believe. I think so.
Nice. I'm sure Mets fans are very excited about that. Because they very irrational.
Houston's gonna find a way to be right in that thing again. Yeah, hey, the Mets fans, we're overpaid for them.
Yeah,
hey, bro,
crazy.
It's one game.
Altuve play left.
He did.
Any disasters?
He punched out twice. I don't know if he got any hit.
Any disasters out there?
No, nothing crazy.
All right, good.
Yeah, nothing crazy got hit to him. So he's playing the left. You know how it is, man. Everything hit towards the line takes you a little bit of time to understand how the ball flies. There was a couple plays that was going towards the gap where it's actually easier to make that play because as the off outfielder, you don't get the ball kind of running away from you. You get pretty much everything either hit straight or running to you at that spot. So yeah, there was the plays made going towards the gap. I saw he had a couple of those yesterday. But I didn't see, who knows? I might have been doing something else. But I didn't see any of them that was going towards the line. Those are the tough ones. Yeah. And those are the ones he was struggling with early in the spring training. So.
Yeah. Should be an interesting project. See how that goes. All right. Yeah. Well, that's all we got. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to the game tonight, I do not believe. I do not believe I'm going to the game tomorrow either. Maybe I'll make an appearance. Who knows? But it'll be a nice, hopefully relaxing
Score
weekend.
predictions for tonight?
Score predictions? Well, Jared's under 13.5. I like it.
Randy Jones.
7-4.
Ah, damn it. That's what I was leaning towards. 7-4 Mississippi State.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That
sounds awful. Randy Jones.
Yeah, state of emergency. Just be ready. Just be ready for the people to be going crazy tonight. That's
really what bothers me. Like that's the only thing that really, like when I think about LSU losing a baseball game, it's just you should have seen Tiger droppings this morning.
I like it 7. I like it 7-5 LSU.
Randy Jones 6-3 LSU. Matthew. Oh, Fonzarelli 6-5 LSU. Matthew Kunkel 7-6 LSU.
Gonna be tight.
Get right.
I like him to prove me wrong. Let's just put it like that. Prove me wrong.
No doubt. We shall see. I'll enjoy watching the game and the women's basketball game. Same time.
Same place. Colorado Show channel.
There you go. All right. We appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all's beautiful Friday. We'll be back live in studio Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. There you go. We got double. Whoa. We got a lot of action live 6 to 8 p.m. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods. Tune in on Monday. Hopefully, have some more player interviews.
I was told that's why they do the thumbs up is from Jared.
Boom
on the show.
There you go. What you got to find out? Jay wants us to find that out. We'll find it out. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday. Peace.
Did Skip Bertman ever hold a clipboard when he coached? What? That was on Tiger Droppings.